Just down the road from the legendary Forest Fair Mall lies another dead mall, one that has been in freefall for quite some time. This is the Tri-County Mall, another dead mall that snuck by under the radar for so long until recently.
Here we go. Smells funky though.
Like with the Circle Center Mall, we do have a lot of history to cover, so let's get started. Tri-County Mall traces its roots back to 1959 when businessman Joseph Meyerhoff announced plans for the Tri-County Mall. Initially, the plans called to have a shopping center accompanied by John Shillito Company and H&S Pogue Company, or Shillitos and Pogues for short. Plans also included SS Kresge, Kroger, and Grey Drug. After the site was selected in Springdale, groundbreaking begun in 1959 and the shopping center would open for the first time in 1960 with opening ceremonies performed by the Princeton High School Band and a ribbon-cutting ceremony hosted by the mall developer and the mayor of Springdale, boasting 51 stores spread over 500,000 square feet of shopping space. The Cincinnati Enquirer would produce an article noting that the mall was Meyerhoff's largest center at the time and how the center was landscaped to give off the appearance of a park. The shopping center would gain much traction through the 60s. In 1962, Shillitos would expand to accommodate a fourth level, while their lowest level would become a discount floor referred to as a basement store. Sears would build a prototype store to the east end of the shopping center in 1967, boasting many unique services and merchandise. These services included auto repair and even a restaurant. Sears brought forth a new expansion that connected it to the rest of the shopping center, this portion being the first of the mall to be enclosed. This enclosed portion featured Casual Corner, Spencer's Gifts, Hickory Farms, Walden Books, and Lane Bryant. Early 1968, the enclosure would extend to the rest of the mall with features of fountains, palm trees, skylights, and antique lighting all around. In 1971, Pogues would expand and remodel, bringing in circular designs with different color schemes to their departments, alongside adding a third floor to their building, which would bring forth home furnishings and a beauty salon. In 1976, the mall itself would see renovations as the main entrance was redecorated in earth tones and decorative fountains would be added in. In 1979, Meyerhoff's real estate division, Monumental Properties, would wind up selling the mall to Equitable Life Insurance, now known as AXA Equitable Holdings. Enter 1982, and Federated Department Stores would acquire Shillitos. They would merge the company with Reich and Kumler Company, based in Dayton, under the assumption that combining the names would increase the profitability of both stores. Whether or not this would work would be irrelevant, as both Shillitos and Reich's would be further consolidated beneath the Lazarus nameplate. Meanwhile, Pogues would eventually consolidate with L.S. Ayers, based out of Indianapolis. Sound familiar? While Federated Department Stores was playing musical chairs with its acquired chains, a food court would open up in 1985, bringing forth 9 restaurants, 3 of which being Baskin-Robbins, Great Steak, and Pizza Hut. The food court would also line up with the mall's 25th anniversary, which included a number of community events and a $7,000 prize raffle. Over the 1980s as a whole, Shopping centers would begin to build up around Tri-County Mall, strengthening the area as a major retail corridor for Springdale and the greater Cincinnati area. "1987 would bring wind of competition as Shopko Advisory Group submitted plans to Springdale with the intent to develop another shopping mall called Springdale Town Center, which would have gone directly across Interstate 275. The mall would include 1 million square feet of mall space with JCPenney and McAlpin's as guaranteed anchors, along with Elder Beerman, Marshall Fields, and Jacobson's as potential anchors. Despite negotiations and stipulations that Shopko agreed to, Springdale Town Center was rejected by the city amid concerns of traffic and market saturation. JCPenney still entered the Springdale market by purchasing the Ellis Ayers store at Tri-County Mall, along with 2 other stores at Kenwood Town Center and Northgate Mall. These 3 stores were closed down by the May Company, parent company to Ellis Ayers, due to a lack of profitability. If the current state of the mall is anything to go by, you may be wondering, what went wrong? We will touch up on this in just a few minutes. Tri-County Mall would see an expansion in 1990, which brought in a second floor and doubled the number of shops for the mall. In addition, a large fountain was added to the center court, and the food court would relocate to the upper level by Sears. Pizza Hut, Great Steak, and Spinning Fork would be 3 notable tenants that relocated to the new food court, and would be accompanied by Arby's and several local restaurants. Meanwhile, Lazarus would remodel their store in 1991, bringing forth a more open floor plan. This renovation would result in this particular store being noted as the most profitable in the chain for August and September 1991. To conclude the 90s prosperity, McAlpin's would come to the mall in 1992 after negotiations with Lazarus. The later 90s would be where hardship began, starting in December 1996 when Equitable Life Insurance put the mall up for sale, along with several other properties amid concerns of oversaturation in America's retail market. Tri-County Mall would sell in 1997 for $147 million, and ownership would go to the O'Connor Group. Meanwhile, in 1998, Dillard's would come for McAlpin's parent company and would rebrand all McAlpin stores as Dillard stores. Then, the mall would change owners from O'Connor to Blackstone Realty, then from Blackstone Realty to Thor Equities. Add on the competition brought up by Cincinnati Mills just up the road, and this mall was facing some hard times. Meanwhile, Lazarus would eventually become rebranded under Macy's in 2005. And then JCPenney would close shop the same year. JCPenney was addressed, however, as the upper floor was repurposed into Crazy City, featuring mini-golf, go-karts, and bowling, while the lower floor was repurposed into a hallway leading to a new mall entrance. This effort was short-lived, unfortunately, as Crazy City closed in 2009. Ownership continued to change amid Tri-County Mall like some twisted game of hot potato, and in 2013, the mall would eventually land in the hands of Singapore-based Singhai Group in 2013. Dillard's would downgrade to a clearance center in 2013, before closing in 2015 to move to a new store at Liberty Center. Singhai did announce plans to revitalize the mall, bringing in new outparcels as well as opening up opportunities for office space. There were also plans to convert Dillard's into a dine-in theater, although these plans never materialized any further. June 4th, 2018. Sears announced that its store at Tri-County Mall would close in September 2018 amid its usual financial issues. Although not a surprise, this was a devastating blow, leaving just Macy's to continue operations at Tri-County Mall. Today, the mall remains stuck as vacancies climb and climb. What will happen to the mall? Redevelopment? Demolition? Demauling? A drastic repurposing? Perhaps we'll never know. We do have a few minutes for me to give out my personal thoughts and feelings about this mall, and I have to say, this one is quite an oddity. It's not bad. I actually kind of like the way it looks, but it's just amazing to see how far down this mall has fallen. The part that amazes me the most, however, is the lower level by Sears, where there are almost no businesses in operation. Maybe one or two, but still. Take a moment to enjoy this static shot that I got in the corridor. This place, in a way, is just captivating to me. That wing is just completely gone, and only a few people seem to have noticed until now. If you're into this kind of thing, do stop by this mall. You need to experience this place for yourself. Just be mindful of security, as I have heard that they're beginning to crack down on this kind of thing. I didn't get stopped, but I have heard of other YouTubers running into problems here, so do be careful. And now we're beginning to wind down toward the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed this place as much as I did. Do share the video if you think others should see this one. And of course, you can find me on Minds, Ko-fi, and the Dead Mall's Discord, which will be linked below. Tri-County Mall was the third mall I hit in the Dead Mall Summit adventure, and we have many more to go. If you haven't subscribed yet, and you want to see more malls like these, then do subscribe. I'll be waiting for you at the next one.
Sorry, honey.
This is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Tri-County Mall farewell until next time.